Hello, I'm going to try to, as smoothly as I can, introduce you to how to set up Unity as quickly as possible. This is unrehearsed, but I will try to edit out any major mistakes or the parts that can take a very long time. So anyway, first we'll go to the VRChat website. You'll want to log in. You'll want to go to download. And there is the Creator Companion Beta. I haven't tried this. This actually might be a much easier way, but what I'm going to do is the way I know how to do it. So while we're here, we'll want to download the VRChat Avatars SDK. That'll download a Unity package, which is something you'll drop into Unity when you've got that set up. We'll want to go to setting up the SDK, and then you'll want to click on current version of Unity. So the current version that's supported by VRChat is 2019.4.31F1. No other version will work. So first we'll want to download the Unity Hub and run that exe. That will start the installer. And you let it run. First, it'll pop up wanting to install the latest version. This version's not compatible with VRChat, so there's no point in installing it. So now we'll go back, and then here we'll click on Unity 2019.4.31F1, and then click on Install this version with Unity Hub. It'll pop up this window. This should be selected by default, and if you'll want Quest support, you'll turn on Android build support as well. Now this step can take a very long time, and hopefully I can edit it out or fast forward it. All right, now that is installed. I think that on my system took 4, 5, or 6 minutes. It could be longer or shorter, depending on your system and internet connection. So Unity is now installed. So before I go any further with that, we'll need to download a couple of other things. So you'll need to get the Poyomi Toon Shader. That is, without getting into too much about what shaders are, you'll need this for how your avatar looks. This one is the free version, so you'll want to download this one that includes 7.3.50 and 80.385. This part of it's not that important. 7.3 is still very popular and used a lot, and 8.0 is the newest version. So we'll click that and download that. You'll see it's also a Unity package, and then you'll need an avatar to work on. There might be some free ones out there. This is just one example of one I have. If you buy something on Gumroad, I highly recommend you create an account and be logged in when you buy it, because then it'll add it to your library. Otherwise, it won't show up in your library, and you'll have to rely on email or some other way to keep track of what you've bought and download again. So this one's kind of expensive, but this is what I'm going to use as an example. So you can go to View Content, and then you'll want to go to the Unity packages and download VRC. No. I think this is the one we want right here. K9 Res Unity VRChat version 0.11. So that's 1.8 gigabytes. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen. So while that's downloading, we'll go ahead and get our Unity project set up. So you'll go to Projects and create a new project. Make sure it's set to 3D Core here, and make sure this is 2019.4.31F1. I'm going to call this tutorial project, and I like to put it in a folder called Unity Projects under my user folder. So I'm going to create that project. And as I said before, some of these steps can take a long time. None of them should take as long as installing Unity the first time, but some of the imports and things can take a minute or two. All right, now here's Unity. I have a different setup here, so let me go into, I think default. Yeah, let's just do the default layout so you can see how this looks. All right, so let's just get this set up, and I'll explain some of these pieces afterwards. But the main part is the project here. These are your files, and these are the files within your folder. This kind of works like Windows Explorer, just for the specific project. Hierarchy here are the actual like objects and items and assets in your scene, and this is your scene. The inspector here will give you details about whatever you've selected in here or whatever you've selected in here. So to get started, we're going to hop over to downloads and um, let's see, install the VRC SDK first of all. So you can just do that by dropping it into Unity. And so when you drop a package into Unity, it'll pop up this window. This is your import Unity package window. And so since this is the first time I've imported this and it's fresh, it'll say every single file is new. If it weren't, some of them wouldn't be selected. You can't select something that's already imported in the same version. It might have a different icon if it's replacing something. In this case, it's all new, so it'll be good. The VRChat package is pretty big, so it can take a little bit to import. And you should know that it's fully imported when you get this VRChat SDK menu up here. You can click splash screen, and if this pops up, then it should be good to go. You'll want to eventually do show control panel here, which you would log in with your username and email. I can provide that in a second, but we'll do that in a little bit. So I usually like to drop this next to my inspector up here to have quick access to it. Next thing we'll want to do is bring in the Poyomi shaders. Do the same thing by dragging and dropping it into the Unity window. And as you can see, again, this is all new files in the import. All right, now that is set up. To make sure that that's installed properly, you should have a Poi menu up here. All right, now, last but not least, is your avatar package. Same thing, all new files, import. All right, now we've got our VRChat avatar SDK, our Poyomi shaders, and our avatar. Now, you'll see nothing has happened here. This is an empty scene. There's nothing in it except a camera and a directional light. So you'll go into avatar, or different packages, different avatars will have different folders here. So this one happens to say avatar VRC, and you'll want to go to scenes. And then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger down here so I can see the names a little bit better. That one is K9V008, open me first. And this is the plantigrade one, which is a different leg. So I'm going to open this first just by double clicking it. And you'll see now that our scene has 4 versions of the avatar, and you'll see that they're down here. So to move, it's a lot like moving in FPS. You got your A, your D, your S, your W, your Q, and your E. And then, of course, I'm holding down right mouse button to look around. I should say that the QWEASD is while your mouse is held down. If you hit QWE, R, T, Y, and U, well, not U, but the other ones up here, it'll change your control. So this is move, or this is like slide the picture around. This is move whatever's selected. This is rotate whatever's selected. This is scale whatever's selected. And I haven't used the rec tool, but I mean, that's to select multiple things. Yes, okay. And then this is a combo tool that has everything kind of built in. So these are all avatars. They should be all set up. So we're going to click the default one here, and you'll see a bunch of stuff on it. I won't get into details what all of this means, but you can expand it and see some of these things on it. Quick little detail is if you click body and you click blend shapes over here, this is all the customizations that typically comes on an avatar. So let me show you a couple. So sometimes it's as simple as like hiding a bandana. It could be making it chubby or full or whatever, floats your boat. So you can set all of these things to customize it. And there's typically a ton of them. Some avatars even have things you can turn on and off, different ears, different tails, etc. I'm not going to get into all of that. I also don't know this avatar that well. So we have an avatar here and it's ready to go as is. We're going to go to the VRChat SDK and type in your username or email and then your password. My password manager. And I forgot where I left off. I'm going to say that's where I left off. Was I right? No, I was not right. Let's try that again. Like I said, no rehearsal, couldn't possibly go wrong. And so this will be your VRChat.com login. So it's not your Steam login or your Oculus login. All right. I have two-form authentication set up. It's highly recommended you set that up. I'm just pulling up my authenticator here. All right. So this is good to go now. So to go to the builder, I'm going to select, these are all the 4 avatars here. So I'm going to select the default one here. It's going to say unpublished. It's going to complain about a few things. This is all the performance counts. So anything that's like this will be, I think, very good. This will be good. This will be medium. This will be poor. I think if there's an exclamation point, that's a whole error. And then there's another icon that means very poor. So this is going to be your overall performance based on the lowest setting of any, or the lowest one of these. So the lowest one here is I have too many fizz bones and too many contact component counts. So if I reduce those, it would go to the next one down. Material slots, if I reduce those, then it would go to the next lowest one, which will be good. So that just affects who can see it by default and how the performance is. Some things actually affect it more than others. In any event, we're going to click build and publish for Windows. You can also do build and test. That will just put it up temporary for you to see, but we're going to make a full publish. Yes. Sometimes there'll be things in here that say autofix or whatever. You're good to click all of those autofix things. It might pop up a window. You can just close that window and it should be fine. All right, now here's your upload thing. This is where you name it. I'm going to call this tutorial canine. Call it canine. Description can be the same. It doesn't matter. Pretty much never check any of these things. Set it to private so it's harder for people to steal or copy. Upload image. There is a camera here for VRC cam to move it around. I'm going to just leave it here, but you can move this around for different poses, or not different poses, for different angles. So go back to game here. Click I agree. The above is accurate. Click upload. All right, so now, if everything went right, you now have an avatar on your account. So to test that out, let's hop into Steam. Let's go to VRChat, play, and I'm going to just play on the desktop to test it first. So this is just how I've done it, is just your desktop version. It's not going to include the Quest version, and I'm not going to include a tutorial for that right now because that's a whole other thing to do. Right, now, whatever world you're in, you'll want to go find a mirror. So I'm going to set this one up so you'll see it's downloading it, and that's the avatar. And considerably taller now. So mirror, and look at me. I am a K9 now. All right, so quick little change here. I'm going to go back into Unity, and I'm going to make a little change to the body as I described before. So we're going to hide the bandana. Oh, by the way, when you're moving around, you can move the mouse wheel up and down to speed up and slow down moving back and forth. And I also recommend bringing in clicking on this camera, turning off dynamic clipping, and turning this to nearly 0. That means you'll be able to get a whole lot closer to your avatar to work on things. Let's see, what else can I turn off? We're going to do, what's Big Top do? Oh, okay, gives me some chest fluff. Okay, that works. We're going to make him extra chubby, and we're going to make him super muscly too. It's starting to look like an inflatable. And ears back. Some of these blend shapes, by the way, are specific for talking or looking or gestures, animations, stuff like that. And fluff cheeks. We'll add that, and we'll add something else that's good. Nose. Well, these snarl, that's probably part of an animation. All right, we'll just leave it at that. So we got this guy here now. So I'm going to go back to the SDK, click Builder, click Default, click Upload. everything the same again. This is going to be the old picture. If I wanted to upload a new picture, I just click this. It'll activate that camera, and I can move the camera around, take a new picture. So whatever you want. Okay, and we'll hop back into VRChat here. You'll see that this doesn't update automatically. What you'll need to do is go into avatars, switch to something else, and switch back. Now, there are mods to let you reload avatars, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to download the avatar again. And now we've got Big Chungus here. So a couple of other things real quick in here is, I'm not sure what's all in this avatar here, but the armature are the bones. This is everything that's inside the avatar that holds it together and tells the game where to move things, as far as where the tail is, where the legs are, where the fingers are, everything. So this is what moves the body. The body, scaling the body doesn't do anything. You'd have to scale the armature, move the armature, stuff like that. But some of those things you can't do in Unity, you have to do in Blender. So if you wanted to add something to your avatar in here, you could drop it onto the avatar, you could drop it onto the armature. It kind of depends on what it is. A lot of clothes will not conform to the body or bend with the body correctly unless if you put it into Blender and use weight painting, which again I won't get into here. So that's the basics of downloading and installing Unity and uploading a avatar to your account. So hopefully this helps.